Hi, my name's Sonya Barber and I work at Time Out London and I edit the Time Out London blog. There are so many great independent cinemas in London. I go to the ones near me, so Hackney Picture House is my nearest cinema, but I also really like the Rio. I try and kind of spread out the love among the independent cinemas so that so they all get my money. But I really like some of the more independent film festivals and film nights and little film clubs that are popping up all over the city. Hot Tub Cinema are doing a really great thing. They're doing they're so amazingly popular. They are putting on these they're screening classic films and you get to sit in a hot tub and while you're watching, which is pretty great. It's kind of like watching a film in a bath, but with someone bringing booze to you. It's pretty great. They're also doing a new venture now called Pillow Cinema, which you lie on a big beanbag with someone and you bring your own pillow, and that's pretty cool too. So I like it when people are doing kind of more innovative things like that. There's also someone called Amy Grimehouse, and I'm really into her at the moment. Her events, they put on these kind of immersive cinematic experiences, and they're usually really trashy and really silly and really fun. So like recently they did a John Waters, who's one of my favourite directors, did a John Waters all-dayer where there was a kind of fancy dress competition and all these like sets from some of the films, and like some dance classes were doing like so you'd learn the dances from the films and stuff. That was really cool. And like they put on like a Cher day where there was kind of like Cher karaoke as well as all of Cher's best films. So Amy Grimehouse is really cool, and those events pop up all over in different pubs. I think a few of the ones I've been to have been in the book club in Old Street, but yeah, they take over loads of different spaces. I also really like the Found Footage Festival, and that's not a annual thing. It's these couple of guys who go around America. They're American and they collect old VHS tapes, and so it's like sometimes really crappy workout videos, like silly adverts for like penis enlargers, whatever, and then they get them and then they kind of curate them and then they screen them. They go around and they do these nights. They're really, really funny where they screen the VHS footage, and then they often try and like track down the people who are in the films or in the ads or whatever, and they're usually 80s, like, from the 80s, so there's always like quite a funny story attached to them. So their nights are really, really great, and they come to the Soho Theatre maybe once a year. They're pretty cool. I also really like the Fringe Film Festival, which is a small kind of LGBTQ, like it's kind of like a queer festival film festival that happens in East London, but it's kind of not just film, it's film and art. So they have a lot of film screenings, but they also have talks, and in the last one they did like a late night screening of Grease 2 in the Rio, and then there was like a Grease 2 party afterwards at Dawson Superstore. They're really cool, and the people who are running it are really, really cool and interesting, and yeah, I really like what they're doing. And finally, there's this film club called the I can't never pronounce it, the Bechdel test. Have you heard of the Bechdel test? It's pretty cool. It's basically where if films and things are judged on if two female characters talk about something that isn't a man. So it's kind of like a feminist stance on judging whether whether the film has kind of valid, interesting, fully rounded female characters. And there's a film club dedicated to films that do that, and they screen those. I think it might be monthly at the Amersham Arms in New Cross. So yeah, those are some of my favourites.